Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Boys, I Asad Awan is here as your Pakistan studies teacher. Our class is 10th, our teaching week is 4th, whereas our lecture is 1st of 4th week. First of all, I would like to establish your connection with the previous knowledge, and our previous topic of discussion was 1973 Constitution. A constitution is a set of laws and principles that actually determine nature, function, and limits of the government and the other institutions which are working in the country. As per 1973 Constitution is concerned, it is different from 1956 Constitution and 1962 Constitution. Its different features are mentioned over here. It's a written constitution. It has 12 parts. 1973 Constitution has objective resolution as its base. Islamic system is being introduced, is being mentioned that Islamic provisions will be ensured in the country. It's not easy to do a change or to do an amendment in the constitution. Two-third majority of both houses are required, so it's a rigid constitution. It is a federal constitution because it has introduced the system with the central government and the provincial governments as well. Parliamentary form of government is being introduced. Two houses are being introduced, Senate and National Assembly, whereas members of the National Assembly and Provincial Assembly will be directly elected by the people. It is mentioned that according to 1973 Constitution, fundamental rights will be ensured for the citizens of Pakistan. It is mentioned here judiciary will be independent, their job security will be there. As per 1973 Constitution, it is being authorized that the President to hold referendum on any national issue. Similarly, Prime Minister can ask the President to hold referendum on any important national issue. So now we can conclude that in 1973 Constitution, actually it has enlisted the main principles of the state policy, and maximum efforts were made to improve the character of this institution, and this constitution also provide principle for the protection, propagation and enforcement of the Islamic ideology. Now this topic of discussion is General Ziaul Haq era. So our objective will be that student will be able to critically review the rule of General Ziaul Haq. So we will inshallah discuss by different dates, by different years. So 5th July 1977, General Ziaul Haq removed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and he suspended the constitution, declared martial law, and he told that election will be there within 90 days. So different political activities, journalists were being arrested. So 17th September 1977, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was also arrested, and whatever blame was given, that conspiracy to murder. So 1st October 1977, elections were postponed indefinitely, and 1st January 1978, General Ziaul Haq declared that 1978 as year of Islamization. Education committee constituted to review syllabi and revise them to include an Islamic bias. So May 13, 1978, 11 journalists are sentenced by military courts. 4 journalists, Masoodullah Khan, Iqbal Jafri, Hawar Naeem Hashmi and Nasir Zaidi, are also flogged. September 16, 1978, General Zia assumes office of president, retains the office of the army chief. 10th February 1979, Islamic penal law enforcing Had are promulgated in the pursuance of Nizam-e-Islam. These include the prohibition order and zina ordinance, as well as separate laws mm, for the theft and other punishments by whipping. 4th April 1979, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto is hanged in Rawalpindi jail despite a split verdict and international appeals. 15th October 1979, General Zia clamps down further on press freedom. So after 2 days, Delhi Musawat and Delhi Sadakat both are being banned. 24th December 1979, Soviet Union invades Afghanistan. General Zia drags Pakistan into jihad sponsored by the American and Saudis. 26 May 1980, establishment of the Federal Shariat Court is announced, and in December 1984, Zia holds referendum on Islamization, which will give him 5 more years at the helm. So his government claims that more than 95% of vote cast were in sports of Zia. March 18, 1982, changes introduced to the Pakistan Penal Code, Section 295B, now stipulates a life term for defying, damaging, or discrediting a copy of the Holy Quran. So 9th February 1984, government bans all student unions. 27 April 1984, ban imposed on the use of Islamic nomenclature by Ahmadis. 25th February 1985, national polls are held on non-party basis. So on March 2, 1985, Article 62 and 63 of the Constitution amended to make parliamentarian qualifications subject to Islam morality. Now, November 9, 1985, 8th Amendment to the Constitution comes into force, giving Zia the power to dissolve the parliament under Article 58 2b. So 23rd March 1985, martial law is lifted, and Muhammad Khan Janejo sworn as a prime minister. Then October 5, 1986, the use of derogatory remarks for the Holy Quran, Holy Prophet peace be upon him, is criminalized. The offense is made punished by the death or life imprisonment. 29 May 1988, Zia dissolved parliament and dismissed Junaid's government. He promises election in the next 90 days. So in June 15, 1988, Zia promulgates the Shariat ordinance, making Sharia supreme law of the land. In 17 August 1988, General Ziaul Haq is being killed along with 31 others in a plane crash near Bahawalpur. So after discussing different events, different issues of General Ziaul government by different years, by different dates, now I would like to recapitulate the topic that during the PNA movement, which was against Bhutto, of course, opposition leaders, political leaders, they played a large part in facilitating the event that take over by Zia. Moreover, ISI had a supporting role for PMA movements. Fair and free elections were there, and as it is mentioned here, Ziad military had no intentions of leaving. So, lack of political mandate to rule, Ziad decided to consolidate his power base beyond challenge by making the military itself his political constituency. So, he involved 3,000 military officers in civilian administration, giving them all opportunities of profit and corruption. So, this gave Zia an unshakable power. So, first, he just started working to establish its own credential to rule. Secondly, uh, at the same time, this was an excuse for postponing the election. Thirdly, the objective to eliminate Mr. Bhutto by death penalty. This was the objective. Then he made allies with new ruling coalition like JI, Fajwal, Mushaiks, judges, Pir Sibutullah in Sindh, Chaudhry Zuhur Alhai in Punjab, Khan Abdul Wali Khan in NWFP. So he activated IIC, the Islamic Ideology Council, to appease JI. He introduced Islamic punishments and he abolished interest in the banks, and Sharia faculty was created at Qaeda University. Zakat and Usher ordinance was also implemented. Moreover, he injected 400